Councillors, welcome to our extraordinary council meeting for the 17th of March, 2025. We've got, as we had a previous workshop earlier, we opened that workshop with a karakia, so we will not open this particular meeting with a karakia, but we will close with one. So we can get straight into it. We've got our health and safety statement, which is nothing new. So we'll take that as read. We've got apologies from Councillor Dunbar-Smith and Councillor Hughes. Just checking before we take those. Have we got, so in chambers, we've got myself, Councillor Smith, Councillor Clarkson, Councillor Nicol, Downard, Marr, and Cookson. And online, we have Councillor Strange, Councillor Graff, Councillor Mahuta, and Councillor Kneebone. All right, so like I said, we have apologies from Councillor Dunbar-Smith and Councillor Hughes. I've got a mover and Councillor Cookson and a second and Councillor Marr. Sorry. Well, that's how it's being recorded. There we go. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Confirmation of the agenda. Oh, nice. Getting a hand up there quick, Councillor Marr. We'll give the second to Councillor Smith. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Disclosures of interest. Any disclosures of interest with regard to the matter before council today? If not, we will move on to our one and only item. This is item 6.1. This is in regard to a notice of motion that was put forward by Councillor Mahuta that Councillor Mikhail Downard is appointed as the Waikato Regional Council member on, and Councillor Tipa Mahuta as the alternate on the Waikato Civil Defense Emergency Management Joint Committee. So I've got a mover in Councillor Mahuta. Do I have a second? I've got a second in Councillor Cookson. Just for clarity, though, I will open up to any further nominations. If not,
I was going to ask Tipa if she wanted to expand a little bit more on anything of her experience on the committee. I mean, that comes later perhaps, but just flagging that or foreshadowing that of having wanted to be on the committee as the main member. Have things been achieved that were intended to be achieved by her being the main member? And then, yeah, anything obviously as background to this as well. Thanks.
Sure, just to, and I would love to have you speak to this motion, Councillor Mahuta, but just to clarify, are there any further nominations that councillors would like to put forward? If not, I'll declare all of those nominations closed. So we do have just Councillor Downard and Councillor Mahuta to consider in this regard. But Councillor Mahuta, would you like to speak to your notice of motion? Sorry, hang on, just hang on a second, Tipa. We don't really have sound in the chamber here.
We just heard you whispering.
Oh, sorry.
There we go.
Better.
That's it.
Better?
Better. Go ahead.
Okay, no, full support of Councillor Downard for the position. He's came to council knowing the seat and space and has only extended it in his role there. I think my reason for wanting to go into CEDM is the long-standing lack of movement on the relationship with iwi, and I'd like to thank Councillor Downard for his efforts in that space. I think right now is an opportunity for us to show some leadership, provide stability while the committee's seeking new leadership. And Mikhail has my full support for that as well. When that time comes, it's a second process, not after today. I'd just really like to support his noms. In terms of experience, Jen, I think I'll be able to provide more support in my iwi chair role, and look forward to working with Councillor Downard as the iwi chair that they'll be in relationship with on CEDAM. So tēnā koe.
Well, thank you. That's really useful. And I can just comment that I listened to the recording of the last workshop, and I did really appreciate Mikhail's comments in that workshop. It was really helpful, and I would agree with your comment before that he would progress some of what the original intention was from my perspective. Yeah, and it was, I also, just let others know, I took some time before this to call some of the committee members to see what their thoughts were on, was really just on the leadership position, because I in principle think it would be really great if the chairing of the CEDAM committee did come back to regional council. And my conclusions from that was they seem to have a very capable deputy chair at present. And I think that ultimately it is ultimately a decision for that committee to make. And so I look forward to seeing what they decide at the end of this month, I think it is. But yeah, and whether that comes back to being chaired by regional council in the near future or next triennium, I'm more relaxed on, but because it's the committee's decision. But yeah, long term, that principle would be nice if it came through for the committee to be aware of. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Councillor Smith.
Yeah, I'll put my comments in, and it's based on my 9 years as a representative on CEDAM. The reality is, coming back to regional council, and this is no reflection on Mikhail, absolutely make that comment, is that the best person for the job needs to be the person around that table. Too often a mayor decides that they are not going to sit because it's a mayor's position or their delegate. And sometimes, and many times, the newest or the weakest or whatever you like to describe it, but certainly not the best representative from councils come to that table and quite naive in the way of civil defence. So whoever chairs that needs to have the knowledge of civil defence and to be competent in chairing and the bigger picture. And I'm not, this is no reflection on Mikhail. There are people, mayors need to reflect on who they are nominating to that committee, because it's a committee that we don't want to see in action, but when it is in action and required, we need to have the best skilled people supporting the chair, supporting the controller, and remembering that the controller is the absolute decision maker once that declaration is made, but the chair needs to be competent to support that person and their needs and so on. So I'm just making the point for another day, really, rather than today. And I urge mayors in the future to think about the best person for the job. Thank you.
All right, any other comments?
Might make a comment. I'm still very supportive of this resolution. But on that point of that Noel just raised, it would be really great with the mayoral forum working as well as it is now for them to take an agenda item on this at some point, the next, whenever suits, to reiterate some of the points of taking a real interest in this. And I think that goes to our council as well. And like all joint committees, we can, I think, do a little bit better to stay across them and be involved with them. Thanks.
Just a quick comment, Tipper. I thought I heard you say that you are now the iwi representative on CEDAM, so not sure whether should we be nominating a different alternate from the council?
No, I've since Since this term, I am now the chair of my iwi. I'm not sure. So they'll be speaking to me in that capacity. It's for a relational thing. I can still stay the deputy of Sedum. I mean, they're alternate, but it's unlikely Mikhail's going to need me. I'm confident. But yeah, you can replace me. I'm agnostic.
No, that's fine. I
Yeah.
misheard. That's all. So no, that's all good. No, happy to support.
Couple.
All right, we've got a mover and a seconder. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Congratulations, Councillor Downard.
Yep, I'd just like to thank Councillor Mahuta for her confidence in me. It is something that I am passionate about, and was on the TA council down in Taupo before Councillor Park was. So when Hugh Verco was the chair and I used to come up. So yeah, I have had a long interest even in search and rescue for 15 years as well in our local community. So.
All right. Since that was our only item, we can now close our meeting with a karakia.
Kia ora tia. Ona mai te uru tapanui, kia wātia, kia mama, tinako, te tinana, te hinanaru. I te ara takatu, koe rā e rongo, e whakaaria aki ke runga, kia tina, homiai, huiai, tai kie.
Thank you very much and welcome back, Mr. Chief Executive, from your holiday. So with that, we will close the meeting. It is 11:38 a.m. Thank you, councillors.